I'm Danny Gurry, and you've tuned in to Good Morning Frederick. It's a podcast, well, about Frederick. Everything, the people, the businesses, the nonprofits, and the cool stuff. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Good Morning Frederick.
Hi, I'm Sharon Price, and I'm with the Spirit Organization, and you are watching Good Morning Frederick.
Oh, yes. Good morning, Frederick. Today is Wednesday, October 23rd. I'm your host, Danny Gurry. Oh, boy. I'm telling you, so yesterday, and I did it too soon, I have to say. Sorry, I just got to get myself sorted here because nothing seems to want to run the way it's supposed to. And I've had that for a couple of days now. So yesterday I posted, hey, I'm on WFRE. You should listen. Now, 90% of my breaks, amazing. They were great, if I do say so myself. I did what I was supposed to do. It was exactly the way it was. Those daggone contests, I'm telling you, killed me. I did one correct. I had 3. The third one was an absolute train wreck. The first one was a minor fender bender. The middle one was great. So at 1 o'clock, it was okay. 3 o'clock was excellent. 5 o'clock, oh my gosh, I had a hot mic. Thank God I didn't say anything stupid. And I got a couple of texts. Of course, I wasn't looking at my phone because I was panicked. So there you go. Look, no one dies. No one dies. Today is going to be a great day, noon to 7. So if you want to tune in to something and God knows what will happen, I'll be on WFRE, noon to 7 today. All right, let's talk about what's happening on Good Morning Frederick, which, hey, at least I don't make, well, I've made plenty of mistakes here too, right? It's just all about it. All right, we got local news, weather, and sports with Bob Miller and maybe Chris Michaels from WFMD's Morning News Express. We're going to talk about all the events in Frederick happening in Frederick. I cover everything for the rest of this week and into the weekend and next week. And we have an interview. Kaili van Waveren. Not Kelly. Kaili. I know it's because her name is spelled that way, but it is Kaili van Waveren. She is the executive director of ThorpeWood. Now, I hadn't been to ThorpeWood, and actually, I said 20 on the video. Ash and I have been married 25 years, so almost. So it had to have been more than 25 years ago. But anyway, they are or have changed kind of what they're all about. Used to be kind of a event place mostly, and then retreats and stuff like that. Now they're focused on mental health, and it's really, really interesting what they're doing up there. So, and then Dan Purcell of Maryland Double Deckers, I chat with him as well. All right, you got to buy the Good Morning Frederick merch to help the local organization Christmas Cash for Kids. When you purchase Good Morning Frederick merch, I donate the proceeds. And I got my new trucker hats are in, the gray and black ones, which I think are really cool. And the ornaments are in, just $10. You get an ornament and a sticker. Of course, I've got magnets and stickers and T-shirts and fleece and all kinds of things. So please stop in to make a purchase. Now, there are a couple events coming up this week, and I'm going to be doing some specials on my stuff. So I will keep you posted, as well as on First Saturday. Like if you purchase something, you'll get something for free or whatever. But anyway, stop by the shop Thursdays to Sundays, 401 North Market Street, the home of everything Frederick. All right, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have not stopped. We've not slowed down. I think we're at about 1,050, I think, or 40. We'd love to get to 1,500 by New Year's Eve or by January 1st, whatever. 1,500 subscribers. So do what you can, please, and let us, kind of get there for all of our local businesses. Good morning to Tara Flannery. She is probably outside Mama Cone. Mama Cone is on vacation with the ladies in Savannah. So she's been MIA for the show, and I know she hates missing the show. So I can't wait to talk to her about it and see if she's watched later. and want to say good morning to Tara, probably the second most watcher here of the channel, and Pulling for Veterans. Want to say good morning to you as well. All right, don't forget about the podcast. You can listen on all the platforms where you get your podcasts or straight on to YouTube. All right, well, let's go ahead and get this Wednesday moving. A huge thank you to the Good Morning Frederick sponsor. We help you move. Whether you're moving across the street or somewhere around the country, Nicholas and his team of moving experts can make that process much easier, less stressful. We Help You Move is veteran-owned and a great supporter of the Frederick community. WeHelpYouMove.com. All right, Bob Miller has joined us, so let's see what's happening in our local news, weather, and sports. Well, good morning.
Well, a hearty good morning to you as well, young lady.
Thank you. Thank you.
I forgot to ask, how did your radio shift go the other day? Were you stacks of wax and watters or platters, picking them up and putting them down, big sound all around downtown?
Well, in my open today, I talked a little bit about it. So I was on noon to 7 Monday, noon to 7 yesterday, and I'm on noon to 7 today. Well, yesterday I got myself a little confident, so I posted on social, hey, listen to me. I'm on WFRE. And 90% of what I did yesterday was excellent. It was excellent. 10% of it was a train wreck, and that had to do with the contest, The Secret Sound. Which there's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of things that have to be done. Well, my 1 o'clock was okay. It wasn't great. I missed my place to insert a voice track, so I had to do it live, which I eventually figured that out. The 5 o'clock hour was an absolute catastrophe in the sense that I got so flustered because I couldn't get the track, didn't play for some reason or whatever. I left on a hot mic while I was taking a call. And my husband was texting me, but of course I'm so flustered, I'm not looking at my phone. Thank God I didn't say anything horrible, which I didn't. I was just actually talking to the person on the phone. But yeah, so that was a catastrophe, but everything else smooth sailing. So unless,
that's good.
Of course, most of the audience is listening at the time where they can win that big money. So there you go.
Right.
And I was very apologetic on the air. I said, I know you guys can't wait for Emma and Andy to get back, and neither can I at this point. So there you go.
Well, you know what? Hey, it happens. We've all, and unfortunately, one of my hot mics had me drop an F-bomb way back in the day. But when I was a lot younger, I don't swear.
No.
As much. I can't say that there's never, somebody cut you off or somebody, you might say something like, hey, but yeah. And I remember whatever it was simple. I mean, for us in radio, I mean, maybe not so much in the country music business, but when I was doing top 40, hitting the post, which is when, the music ends and the singing begins, hitting the post was a big thing. It was a big thing. And, you could hit a post. I can still do it today, but I didn't. And I went like, blanket. And all of a sudden I did this in my headphones, and I'm like, and then my phone starts to light up, and I'm okay. Yeah. So I just put them all on hold. Yes, I said the F word back in the day, and I do apologize. So, So, I mean, it happens. And I'm glad it went well. But that secret sound.
Yeah. No one dies.
Don't tell us what it is, because that's a well-guarded secret.
Oh,
the secret sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
I pray to God somebody gets it though at 11 o'clock, before 11 o'clock. They got to play it again at 11. They're playing it right now. And if someone gets it, then I have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. It's
Yeah.
fun. I make fun of myself. I have a good time with it. Chris, we're just talking about how it was a catastrophe at the 5 o'clock hour on WFRE yesterday with me and the Secret Sound. But but it's all good. It's all excellent. And today I tell you, today is going to be smooth sailing because I've now messed up so much or so many times that now I know kind of what's happening. So
it's tough when you go to a different radio station you're not used to, because it's happened to me. I mean, Bob could tell you when I first got here in the Morning News Express how many times I screw things up more than anybody does. But when you go to a new radio station, you got to learn the different, not only format, but the different computer systems and automation.
For me, so here's the thing. Like, I don't know if most people know. So I've been in radio, got into radio when I was young, before I was 21, and worked. I was never on the air in a control way, right? Mm-hmm. So I was always an accessory, and everyone else was running the board. Now, I obviously have seen the boards. I've done production. I understand it, but it's not like memory to me. So even at my former employer, I hardly ran the board. So it is like all new. Again, understand the concept completely. But there are so many channels, and again, you just hit the wrong one, and there you go. But anyway, we were never off the air, so I feel like that is a win.
Running a board when you're live on the air is completely different than doing it when you're doing production, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but I got to tell you, I was listening to you yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I'm trying to remember what I was listening to. But I was listening to you on air. I think it was yesterday, and I thought you sounded great. I was listening to you when I got off air, so it was when I got off work about 1, I think it was.
Yeah.
So
as I said, every other break other than the Secret Sound breaks were excellent. But
you're rocking and rolling. We're really glad to have you here on our team. We really are, Danny.
Thank you. And Tom was wonderful. He's been putting up with me, and he's made me feel very welcome. He said the same thing. So I think he's only saying that because if I weren't here, he'd probably have to work from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. So
Tom Whalen knows. You just tell him Tom Whalen is the nicest mean person I know.
He's been so sweet.
Yes, he'll do anything for you, and then if you ever go out to dinner or something like that, and you're like, nobody will recognize you, just go with Tom Whalen one time, and he'll be like, I'll have a glass of water, please. Are you Tom Whalen?
So, he does.
And the whole restaurant will stare when he says
a very distinctive voice, but he's been wonderful so far. Maybe I'm just because I'm still new. He's probably just trying to be nice to me so I don't leave before he has to do more shifts. So.
But I will say, and listen, I'm going to say something nice about my partner here, Bob Miller. I will say, as great as Tom is, as popular as Tom is, he cannot draw a crowd on Tom Day like Bob Miller did on Bob Day. So we'll show a little love to the morning mayor here.
I don't know about that. They haven't had a Tom Day yet. So, Tom Boy Day. So Kelly, no relation to me, says good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Kelly.
I like that. People just jumping on Nicholas Walker. Hey, it's like, let's do these podcast things all day long. There you go.
Let's do it.
Real quickly, before we get into news, I will say one thing, Danny, okay? And this will frustrate me and Bob. We're so happy that you're over at our sister station, WFRE, but you're part of us. You got to be with us on WFMD.
Every time I come in to be on your show, you're busy or you're not there. I stopped in the other morning to try to catch every Monday. I could be on your show every Monday. I'll be in.
Oh, I think that'd be great.
Well, there you go.
I'll be there for the 8 o'clock hour.
Unfortunately, we have somebody else scheduled at that time. We'll hang on a second. Maybe the third Monday of December. We'll get you in December. There you go.
That's right.
Well, we could also we have an opening for coming up in a few months in February 29th.
There we go. That's right. I'll be there then. I'll be patiently waiting.
Oh, I get it now. It took.
All right.
There you go.
Maybe I'll have to do 7. on Monday.
Oh, unfortunately, that's a very busy hour too. I'm really sorry. It's like, we will squeeze you in.
Never mind.
You are Danny. We will squeeze you in.
I love
Listen,
it.
we'll kick off whoever we have to kick off to get you in, Danny, because we love you.
We'll make that other place that used to employ you very jealous.
That's right.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
That is what it's all
about. It was back in the day. So did you ever do Radio Wars at all? I mean, did you ever because I did, slap your bumper stickers on the competing station vans as they, they
that is freaking awesome, dude.
Unplug, their Marty units or anything like that. You've never did anything like that.
Okay, I have to make an admission here. Well, at the fair about 4 or 5 years ago, the WFRE pickup truck was pulled up kind of right in front of our space, and I did happen to put a couple of magnets from my former employer on the side of the WFRE truck. That's what I did. That was my
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
We should get back to doing that. That'd be fun. We could have a ball with that. But now everybody's got to be so it's like even with sports. You look at the NBA, everybody's got to be so nice. And when somebody in the opposing team falls down, the opposite team helps them up. Stop. Don't help them up. We are competing. Stop being nice to one another. We are competing for business. Did we forget that?
Well, here's the thing. In person, every time we'd be in an event, especially the ones where they just basically have, it's like an open call, every radio station in the Tri-County areas at a place. I was always very kind and walked up and said hello to everybody there. But yes, in the midst, in the scheme of things, it was just a little dig, but that's okay because now it's reversed, so it'll be all good.
All right,
absolutely. All right.
So we'll get to news now, and look, is there any other news besides the biggest news of the day? Local business owner Robert Kropp was acquitted on all counts in his machine gun conspiracy case on Tuesday. Of course, if you've been living under a rock or haven't been living in the area, Kropp is accused of conspiring with Frederick County Sheriff Chuck Jenkins to illegally acquire 7 machine guns by misleading the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives about the intended purposes of the weapons. Now, Kropp's trial was originally scheduled to last through a Thursday of this week, but the case was handed over to the jury on Monday afternoon. The verdict came back after approximately 5 hours of deliberation over 2 days. And Morning Mayor Bob Miller had a great interview with Dan Cox today, which is actually on our website at WFMD.com. Also on our Facebook page at WFMD. So, man, Bob, you did about 20 minutes with Dan, right? With that interview?
it was very interesting because he had a lot to say about the ATF. Yeah. And, in his mind, he said that they were there trying to intimidate people, intimidate jurors. They came after Chuck Jenkins was there. Sheriff Jenkins was there one day. And he said that somebody heard one of the ATF agents say, "We're coming after you in December. Get ready." And we kind of see a precursor that this case was already went Robert Kropp's way. It's going to be the same information and the same charges against Chuck Jenkins. I can't imagine them going forward. It would not be a smart thing to waste the money to go after him. But apparently, according to what Dan Cox said, and you can listen to it for yourself, that they were doing this all over the country. This is just not in Frederick, but it is, all over the country. And how much money did Robert Kropp have to spend? How much money has Sheriff Jenkins had to spend? And I asked, and he kind of, did a kind of a roundabout, one of those circle things about whether or not he was going to ask for punitive damages. But I can't imagine them not going after them for defamation of character. But that's just me.
Well, the damage is done, right? So just the accusation, the damage is done media-wise, public relations-wise. And the fact that this country is weaponizing our law enforcement against people that whoever's in power doesn't like is so dangerous. And I know right now people are like, oh, you're just mad because you're one way or the other. No, it doesn't matter. I don't want our government weaponizing our law enforcement against anyone just because they don't like them or don't agree with them. That's such dangerous territory.
I concur.
Yeah, they're here to serve us and protect us, and that's what they're supposed to be doing, our law enforcement. But again, a great interview. If you head to our website at WFMD.com, you'll see the podcast tab, Morning News Express. You'll see the interview there with Bob Miller. So great job, as always, with that, my friend. And there is other news. The Maryland Department of Transportation State Highway Administration will assist Potomac Edison with repairs to a utility pole along the westbound I-70 ramp at exit 52 southbound. That's US 15 westbound, US 340, starting on Thursday, October 24th at 10 p.m. The ramp will close safely. The ramp will close to safely allow crews to make repairs to the pole. The ramp is expected to be reopened by 5 a.m. the following morning, Friday, October 25th. Now, during the closure, motorists will be directed to continue westbound I-70 and take exit 49 to US 40, also known as, of course, Old National Pike, to access eastbound I-70 and proceed to the US 15 340 exits. And taking a look at weather, it is a nice day out there today. Sunshine, warm, high 81. Tonight, some clouds, low 54. And taking a look at tomorrow's weather, sunny, a little bit cooler, high of 66. And well, I shouldn't say a little bit cooler, I guess a lot cooler compared to 81. But tomorrow, high 66. And tomorrow night, mostly clear skies with a low of 36.
And sports. Oh, I'm sorry. Girls flag football. Urbana over Oakdale, 16-14, double overtime.
Whoa.
Yeah, you got to love that. Hawks' Audrey Newton completed a 2-point pass to Avery Walder in a double overtime to help Urbana beat the Oakdale Bears, improving their record to 7. Zip Middletown hammered Brunswick yesterday, 30-7. Genevieve Chase passed for a season high 268 yards in the win. And we're talking girls flag football. What a great feat that was.
Yeah. Could she play for the Jets?
Pardon?
Could she play for the Jets? We could use a good
Well,
quarterback.
she may have a little eligibility left. In volleyball, kind of sad news, Urbana had to forfeit 6 matches for using an ineligible player. They were going to win the division, the Central Maryland Conference Spires division, but now Frederick will be the Spires division champ. Urbana only had to forfeit the matches from mid-September to October 2nd. TJ over Middletown 3-1. Lincoln Downs Brunswick 3-zip. Brunswick High School football coach Jerry Smith, who was removed from the team last week, will not come back for the rest of the season. Now, according to parents of the team's players, and the rest of the coaching staff were informed of this decision to remove him by Frederick County Public Schools at Monday's practice. News delivered to them by the principal of Brunswick and the assistant principal. His status with the team beyond this season is unclear. Now, they did have a meeting with the parents and the players and members of the community, and the community walked away with really no concrete reasons why this has happened. Frederick County Public Schools say that it is a personnel matter and they will not comment on it, which then, of course, takes the minds of people who are like, oh, my goodness, what happened? What's going on here? Right.
It's worse. When they don't say, it is worse.
Right. And maybe, and so we were trying to discuss this morning is, okay, maybe it's for his benefit. Maybe there's something going on. I don't know. But if there's something, because if I'm a parent, I'm like going, okay, automatically, I think there's some kind of something going on with a student, which is, just speculation, or that's where your mind runs to. Most people's minds, when it's a coach or a teacher, it runs to the worst possible thing. And that might not be the case here, but you need to kind of let people know that, hey, look, this is a personnel matter. This is not, your kids were not involved. That's all you got to do. Your kids were not involved. That's simple. It could be something with drugs and alcohol. And again, I am just spitballing here, but you need to know, hey, he needs the personal time off. This is all we can tell you. Right. And they're not doing that. That's kind of, I think that's wrong. Yeah. All right. Chuck Foreman's case. he could be going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The former Frederick High School graduate, Minnesota's Vikings great, is on the list of 31 names finally released on Tuesday through the newly created Senior Screening Committee. The list was 60, now down to 31 names, and Chuck Foreman is on that list. And our fingers are crossed that Chuck Foreman makes it into the Hall of Fame. Maryland quarterback Cameron Edge, who was the third stringer, said, according to Mike Loxley, is that he's going to be jumping into the transfer portal when it opens up on December 9th. So, bye-bye.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys very much, even though you're not going to give me any time on your show. It's okay.
No, you got
okay.
to, hey, tomorrow morning at 9:10. Oh, no, hold it. That's your show. That's when we're here. Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow, 9:10.
Everything kind of runs into each. Hey, you know what? What about the Derek Hunter show?
All right. On that note, I'm gonna. Yeah,
I'm just saying, just in case. He doesn't have guests on there.
I love it.
You might see me there
I got
too.
the hat.
Anytime.
Hey, tomorrow I will be hatless because I'm going to get a haircut today.
Oh, very
just
nice.
FYI, because that's important. Because then look at that. Woo! That's got to go. It's got to go.
All right. We will see you guys tomorrow morning.
Stop flaunting all that hair you have on top of your head, please. He does that to me all the time. You know that? Just because he's lucky enough to have hair.
Hair
Did you see that hair right there? Look at that.
Oh, I know.
Hair. Yeah.
Oh, definitely the best hair. Absolutely best hair in Frederick.
All right. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
All right. Bye. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let's take a quick break. We're going to talk about what's happening in Frederick. I'll give you all the events. We got Kaili van Waveren from ThorpeWood coming up, and Dan Purcell of Maryland Double Deckers coming up just after that.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shattered family beyond compare.
Oh, yes. I'm telling you, the events in this town, it is unbelievable how many we have coming up. I'm just got to get my stuff in order here. All right. I have spent the week because I get tagged on a number of events, which I appreciate. Thank you guys for tagging me on a bunch of them. And sometimes if I'm like, oh, that's not the one I wanted. If I get tagged, I just mark myself as, oh, goodness gracious. I'm trying to find my intense barbecue. There we go. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going, and people will say, oh my gosh, you're going to this event. You're going to this event. I'm like, oh no, I just have to, mark it so I can go back and find it. And it makes it much easier. But boy, I have gotten more trick or treat, trunk or treats, Halloween type things going on in Frederick. This weekend is going to be huge too. So we're going to get all into it right now. All right. Happening in Frederick is sponsored by Intense Barbecue, their family-owned barbecue food truck and catering company. cooking in small batches to ensure that the food is as fresh as it can possibly be. You can find them at intensebarbecue.com. That's IN, the number 1, the number 0, SEBBQ.com. When you do, you will satisfy your meat tooth. Oh, love that. All right. To get the calendar with all the links and everything you need, just go to promocircus.com, everything Frederick Live, and the calendar of events. There you will see the hundreds of events that are happening. It's seemingly every single day. Okay, today, how about heading to the Frederick County Animal Control Free Microchip Clinic? If you have a pet, especially one that goes outside, you need to get them microchipped. So if they scooch away, they can be returned to you, and it is free. Today is, I think, and next week will be the last one to go before the end of October. After that, I think it is $20. You do not need an appointment. You can just show up. Tomorrow, noon to 1:30, I have Key City Rotary meeting. If you're interested in checking out a Rotary, you may be my guest. So please let me know, and I'd be happy to have you. 5:30, Emmitsburg Library. You can learn to crochet. And then 6 to 9 p.m. at Stumpy's Hatchet House. It's WFRE's Ladies' Night, free to attend. If you want one of the 100 goodie bags they're putting together, you need to go to WFRE.com and register. Again, no fee, but you have to register to get one of the goodie bags. So there's going to be a ton of stuff going on there. Free samples from Linganore Wine Cellars. There's going to be live music. Jonathan Zinn, I think his name is going to be playing live. There's raffles. They're raising money also for the Hurwitz Breast Cancer Fund. So if you can bring some change or coins or money to donate, or I'm sure they'll be able to take something else. Who knows? But anyway, you can do that tomorrow, Thursday night. Friday, FCPS gets out 2 hours early for the end of term 1. You've got Trek or Treat at Tree Trekkers. Go check out our decorated platform area. I thought we did a pretty good job. How about checking out the Glade Valley Corn Maze? And then there is a 6 o'clock trunk or treat at Frederick Lighthouse. Saturday, I couldn't even. There are so many events on Saturday. But you could kick off your morning with the All-In TJ 3K Color Rush at 8, and you'll be finished probably, not too long. It's only 3K, so probably half hour, 40 minutes at most, even if you walk it. Then you can head over to Eveready Square in Shab Row for vintage VW trunk or treat. Then at 10, well, after you're done that, or you can do this one first and then do Eveready Square, it's trick or treat in downtown Frederick for kids. So you can hit both of those places up and then stop by the amphitheater at Carroll Creek to watch Canines on the Creek. And then you can trick or treat for the adults in downtown. Frederick takes place from 3 to 7. And at the Carroll Creek Amphitheater, it's Monsters, Inc. on the big screen. That is free. And at 5:30, it's Maryland Double Deckers Booze and Brews for adults. So goodness, you might as well just find a space in downtown Frederick and plant yourself there for the day. On Sunday, Boo Bash on the bus for kids and families on Maryland Double Deckers. And then how about a haunted history at the National Museum of Civil War Medicine? That's at 5. And at 6:20, you can head up to the National Shrine of St. Elizabeth Ann Seton for a Back from the Dead cemetery walk. That ought to be really interesting. All right, coming up soon, we've got the Acton Children's Business Fair on Carroll Creek. We've got the Seton Center's 55th anniversary event at Mount St. Mary's. That is a cool event they're going to be doing there from 5 to 7 p.m. On November 9th at Hood College, it's the Nonprofit Board Fair. A bunch of nonprofits are going to be set up who are looking for board members or volunteers. So if you've ever wanted to get involved with a local organization, here is a great day to do it, November 9th. Also on the 9th, it is the Harlem Wizards at FCC. I'm not even sure. I got to check to see if they're sold out. Typically, they do sell out, but we will see about that. And then coming up on the 16th, there's going to be a ton of great events to stuff a truck with food donations. WFRE and WFMD as well will be set up at local Wise markets. All right. Whew. If you have an event you want included on the calendar, please just email it to everythingfredericklive@gmail.com, and you can make sure and get all the details that you need. And if you want me to talk about it specifically on the show, all you have to do is let me know, and we will get it on for you. I just really did not get myself. Here we go. Oh, here we go. I did not get myself very organized this morning. I had to run out this morning at 8 o'clock to meet a client for a little bit. And that's what's got me. I thought I had everything set up and ready to go. And I did pretty much, except for these little opens, which are important because these are my advertisers and sponsors who are amazing because they support me and keep this show going. So now we'll talk about who is doing good in our neighborhood. Doing Good in the Neighborhood is sponsored by the Healing Storm. Shannon and her team strive to create an environment where you're seen, heard, and valued. The Healing Storm focuses on alternative holistic healing methods to relieve stress and pain, like massage therapy, Reiki, lymphatic massage, and they even have a healing journey program. She also does some great aromatherapy stuff, and she's got a bunch of it for sale at the home of Everything Frederick, as well as in her office. Check out thehealingstorm.com where you can schedule an appointment. The Healing Storm, a place to unwind and recharge through alternative healing. All right, Kaili is excited to educate us about a shift in direction for ThorpeWood from what we've known. It's moved from being known as an event center to something more important that our entire community needs. Here's Kaili.
I'm in the beautiful mountains at ThorpeWood with Kaili van Waveren, the executive director of ThorpeWood, reimagined, I think. Yes. So I was saying to you, I haven't been up here. It has to have been. It's been more than 20 years that I've been up here. Beautiful. I mean, what a great place to work every day.
It is wonderful.
So tell me, ThorpeWood is a place for?
So we're a nature-based mental health and social emotional learning center.
Okay.
We believe that we're sort of in the middle of a mental health crisis and a physical health crisis and also a climate crisis, and that there's a shared origin of all of these things, and that's the fact that humans have become really disconnected from nature for the first time in our existence.
Yeah.
And it's making us unwell and it's making our planet unwell. So the focus of all of our programming is to reconnect humans with the natural world.
Okay. Do you work through an organization or many organizations to get retreats or people up here, or is it something some individual can say, you know, I could really use a reconnection? How does that work?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
So we do have a number of nonprofit partners, and we work together to co-author curricula that are tailored to the unique needs of their clients. We also are privileged to be able to invite nonprofits up to come use our space at no cost. And when groups choose to do that, we often try to convince them to engage in some of our programs as well. And then we have a lot of sort of original ThorpeWood programming that we offer directly to our community. And these are often sort of directly mental health related. For example, we have a monthly grief support group and hike that we do, but sometimes they're more nature education focused. So we might do a mushroom foraging or tree identification event, other things just to get people outside enjoying nature and hopefully learning and falling in love a little bit.
Yeah. How can the Frederick community support you here at ThorpeWood?
Well, we just would love for more people to come up and engage in our programs and see what we're doing up here. Our mailing list is a great way to just stay informed about what we're doing. Everything we offer is free, so there's no reason not to do it.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of things that, like I said, are more just nature education focused or just fun.
Yeah.
And lots of opportunities for families to come up and stargaze together, or we have a spooky history hike coming up
fun.
with a bonfire that'll be this Friday. So we're always trying to think of fun ways to engage the community, and so we really just want people to come check us out and share about us. That's I think like our biggest
Well, we
ask.
can do that. We can do, right. I know sometimes it's the simplest things that seem the hardest for people to do. So we will definitely make sure you have an events calendar then. Okay, so we could add that. We've got an Everything Frederick events calendar where we kind of pull stuff from all different places.
Yeah, that
so
would
we
be
can
wonderful.
start to add what you're doing up here. What would you say, since you've been here, has been the biggest challenge for you as an executive director?
Wow. Well, I think our greatest asset can also be our biggest challenge in some ways, and that's our location. We have 156 beautiful acres at our disposal, and so much here, from our charming farm animals to the beautiful woods and streams on property. But it can also be difficult for folks to get up to us, or sometimes just by virtue of being up in the mountains, we're not as much on people's radars.
Yeah.
So
little out of sight, out of mind, but
Yeah.
that's a great thing too if you're looking to kind of get away from it all,
to
right?
just get away from it all. Yeah, we just had a beautiful 4-day retreat this past weekend, and so I think when people come up, they are richly rewarded.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge, again, has
Yeah.
been this sort of reintroduction campaign in our community, letting people know we're here and who we are.
Yeah. With the retreats and things, so are there places for people to stay on property?
Yes, we have a historic homestead house that was built in 1790. So there are beds in there. We had 10 people at this past retreat. We even have groups sometimes want to come and tent camp as sort of part of their retreat. And then there are always options for people if they live nearby to return home between.
Yeah, I get that too.
Yeah.
I'm not much for sleeping on the floor thing, but it is beautiful up here. What do you guys? Well, let me just find out. If there was one thing you wanted people of Frederick to know about ThorpeWood, what would that be?
That's another really great question. I think I really want people to know that ThorpeWood is a resource for healing. People who are familiar with us often think of us as an events venue rather than an intentional mental health program. And that's really what we're about, is meeting the needs of our community through this nature-based programming.
Yeah. I mean, what a wonderful focus to have.
A great way to become acquainted with us might actually be a regular event series we have in Frederick. Every second Tuesday of the month, we have something called Nature on Tap at Rack Brewing Company.
Well, there we go. Beer and nature. I like it.
That's right. Yeah. So every month we have an expert on a certain nature-related topic come and speak. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to build community. And then we're really fortunate that Rack has offered to make a special edition honey IPA using honey from the apiary we have on property here.
Wow.
So that will be released, we hope, in time for the next Nature on Tap event.
Well, that's definitely exciting. And you're right, it kind of connects. You're bringing that to Frederick, hoping to bring people back up here, which I think is wonderful. Well, I'll make sure that the website is up on screen, as well as we will add all of the public events that you guys have to our calendar, so people are aware that this facility is here for nature and healing and getting people kind of reconnected, I would say.
Yeah, thank you. And if I haven't mentioned it, I would certainly like to. Everything we do here is offered at no cost. All of our programs are free, even if that's a weekend retreat. It's really something that we feel strongly about, that we want to make everything as accessible as possible.
And how do you guys fund all of that?
So we're very privileged to receive financial support from a charitable trust.
Okay.
And then we're looking increasingly to alternative funding sources as well. I have a passion for grant writing, and we'll be looking at ways that we can fundraise and cultivate donor support in the coming months.
Yeah, I know that that's a big job, I'm sure, but it's good that you like to do that. Well, we want to thank Kaili and ThorpeWood. You've got to get up here, check it out, especially right now with the leaves changing color in the fall. This is a beautiful time to take a drive up through the mountains and head on out to ThorpeWood. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity.
That's
all right. I want to thank her. Oh, ThorpeWood, it is so beautiful up there. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Then we're back with Dan from Maryland Double Deckers. I know you've seen those buses driving around if you've been downtown Frederick. They're so fun. And we're going to meet the guy who brought them here right after this.
This portion of Good Morning Frederick is powered by Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, Total Car Care. Need an oil change or brakes? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can take care of that. How about exhaust or engine work? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can do that too. No matter what you need for your car, Ken's Automotive and Transmissions is Total Car Care. Go to kenstrans.com to schedule an appointment today.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves, double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art Splatter Room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and they're located right here in Frederick. They specialize in roofing and siding. They can take care of those windows and gutters and also your patio and deck. Maybe you need it fixed. Maybe you need a new one. This is the time to do it while the weather is still nice. Probably into November, I'd say. But if you need those windows, you're going to want to do that now before half of your heat escapes out of your house into the cold, which you know is coming. Call 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. Again, that's ansconstruction.net. Visit them online. Don't forget, you get $750 off any roof or siding replacement or $50 off any roof repairs when you contact Sandra. Let her know you saw her on Good Morning Frederick. All right, let's talk about who is making the market great. Let's just see, where are we? Here we go. Travel better with Antietam World Travel Service, your gateway to worry-free journeys. With their extensive network, unmatched experience, and personalized services, you can explore the world with confidence and ease. When you work with Antietam World Travel Service, you get convenience, experience, and connections. Go to AntietamTravel.com now and get started on your dream vacation. Yes. Oh, God, vacation. All I'm thinking about right now. Dan Purcell is the reason we have the double-decker buses right here in Frederick. I got a chance to chat with him about his journey thus far. With Dan, Maryland double-deckers. Well, you were the man who brought these to us here in Frederick.
I am, yes.
Are you happy to be
I am. It's a wonderful city.
the instigator of that?
Yeah. Sometimes I question it, my own sanity, but yes. No, it's been wonderful. It's been
Oh, good. Okay, this is how we're going today. All right, hang on a second. We're gonna bring him back. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Isn't that lovely? That's excellent. Okay, now let's do this. You can. This. Oh gosh, is this foreshadowing in what my day is going to be like today on the air? Oh, then you definitely do not want to miss the show on WFRE because it's going to be really interesting. All right, let's see. With Dan, Maryland double-deckers. Well, you were the man who brought these to us here in Frederick.
I am, yes.
Are you happy to be
I am. It's a wonderful city.
the instigator of that?
Yeah. Sometimes I question it, my own sanity, but yes. No, it's been wonderful. It's been the best journey in the world, yeah.
Yeah. So kind of walk back for the people who don't know the story of where you were and how this came about.
This goes back to about 2017. I had the idea to have a London bus and do weddings on a weekend. And someone pointed out to me, well, hey, you've got an asset sitting there for 6 days a week you're not going to use. And kind of killed it for a second. And then 2021, I wrote down 10 of my dreams. Circle the one most beneficial, which was start a London bus company. And then from that point onwards, I just carried on working at it.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, I found these buses in a scrapyard in Chicago. Ended up moving to my house last year, April. Walked in them, drove them to Frederick here, which was a long drive. It's 12 hours
I bet.
when you're only going 40 miles an hour.
I was just going to say.
So that was a long drive. But it was, once we got here, we found it, with friends, a company, and it's been a great time. I've loved Frederick since I've been here. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's awesome. And what a great asset to Frederick this is, because I think this just adds to our charm and history, adds a little bit of British history too.
It does, yeah.
And I think it gives people an opportunity to do something they've maybe only seen in the movies or things like that.
Exactly. I mean, nobody ever sees these rolling down the road. It's so rare.
Yeah.
And when you drive in the bus, you see the faces of people driving by going, what is that? And it's just like, it's fun to see. And you get honks all the time, people waving. It's just really, it causes an atmosphere wherever it goes.
It does. It does. It is a party in a bus, which is fun. You can do that. Or, of course, you can just take the family. You guys are doing a lot of events and tours, history tours. We've got a lot of stuff coming up for Halloween for both just the adults and the kids.
Oh, yeah.
What's been the most fun thing over the course of these really, 5, 6, 7 years since you've embarked on this journey?
God. There's so many memories. It's hard to pin down one or two. I mean, the ribbon cutting was pretty momentous in itself. I think sometimes there's moments where, like last weekend we had a wedding. I think that was one of our best private hires. Yeah, just for the amount of people. It was 40 some people. It was a big atmosphere, and it's wedding, so it's party. But looking at when over the last few weeks when we've had people getting on and off the bus, like customers, and you look back to when these were sitting in the scrapyard, or just those quiet moments when I didn't know what was going to happen and the struggle, and it was just to look back and just see it as it is right now. It's kind of an amazing feeling. That's when you get the feeling. It's like, there's no particular memories. It's just seeing it, the dream come true, and it happening.
Well, I would imagine sometimes you look at the buses again through the eyes of the people who are on it, which is, I would imagine, just such a great feeling. So is there any plans to have more buses here in the area, or?
There is a second one already here.
Yeah.
So there is number 2 bus, and there's some ideas around that bus already.
Okay.
So, and hopefully at some point, fingers crossed, I mean, if this one takes off and we do well with the first one, we can eventually have one that has a covered roof too, and red.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do want to expand. Yes, that's the whole idea, is to expand, get bigger, and be able to do more. You know, and each bus have its own product line and just something. Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn how to drive the bus?
Yeah. That was a crash course.
Literally or figuratively?
Yeah, no, I didn't know. Definitely. I remember this was, so I'd been given a brief overview by a friend in the UK, like do X, Y, Z, and this is how you get it to start and whatever else. So I mean, starting them up is a whole process. There's no key. It's like a process. You have to like touch it. It almost feels like you're in Harry Potter. It's like a secret little thing. It feels like you're in Harry Potter or something. You have to do all these little things to get it to go. It's a whole process. And then, but I remember the first time I ever drove the bus. I was on the driveway, had my ex-girlfriend there, she was sitting there, and we rocked it back and forth a couple of times, and then all of a sudden I just kept going. She's like, wait, are you stopping? I'm like, no, we're going. She's like, really? That was it. We went out and did a circle of the block, and it was just kind of like, we're really moving this bus now, we're really doing it. And
That's
it was just,
so fun.
It was
terrifying
at the same time, really, really fun. It was, and now it's just, it comes so naturally. It's just like, I can do it in my sleep. And, I enjoy it. I love driving these things. I mean, it's. I've heard bus drivers back in the UK say that they wish they could take them home and use them. And for a little bit last year, I had like 3 or 4 weeks where I did have to use it as my own personal car. So I was taking it to the grocery store, and I was like, you know what? It's the truth. The truth is there. It really does feel like you want to take it home with you. And
I love it.
They're just so wonderful to drive.
Yeah, really fun. Well, they're wonderful to ride as well. So check out MarylandDoubleDeckers.com. Book yourself some tickets for some of their great events. You won't regret it. It's a ton of fun. And these guys are amazing. MarylandDoubleDeckers.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danny.
All right.
I love him. He's great. All right. Well, we got through that. All right. Coming up tomorrow, Bob and Chris from WFMD's Morning News Express. Amanda the Clippy from Maryland Double Deckers. And you'll see why I just did it like that. And Marin from the Center of Sound, Mind, and Body, located in downtown Frederick. Very, very cool. So tell a friend about Good Morning Frederick. Have an amazing day. It is beautiful weather. Hopefully you get outside to enjoy it a bit. Let's get out there. Oh, and let's be as great as we can possibly be. That is what I'm shooting for today for myself and you as well.
From downtown